All right, good afternoon. Okay, I called this meeting to order on this Tuesday, April the 22nd, 2025 at 5 p.m. in the Santa Cruz Valley Unified School District number 35 Governing Boardroom, District Office 570 Camino Lito Galindo, Rio Rico, Arizona. Can we please stand for the pledge? Mr. Shadler, can you please? Yeah, certainly.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Okay. Opening item, subject A, call, my roll call, Ms. Obian. Present. Mr. Guerrero.
Here.
Mr. Ramirez,
Here.
Mr. Beach, absent, and Ms. Vasquez, I'm here. We have a quorum. Thank you. Adoption of the agenda.
Yes, I'd like to request that we adjust the agenda and move items B, Rich River Athletics, and A, your ROTC recognition prior to the executive session.
Prior to the. Any questions, anybody? Do you have to- Okay, can you have a motion?
Motion to approve as amended.
Motion to approve, okay, recommendation, motion to approve as the agenda as amended? Moved. So moved,
Second.
second, okay, and all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, okay, motion. Motion carries, thank you. Call to the public, Mr. Verdugo? Call to the public? No call, thank you, thank you. And let me go back to the other one. And here we go, presentation subject, JROTC recognition, Mr. Verdugo.
Thank you. I'd like to invite Mr. Navarro up. To introduce the ROTC. Ready?
Good evening, members of the board. We would like to recognize tonight one of our students from JROTC. In a couple minutes, LPC Roque will provide a description of all the things that Milan has accomplished. The only thing I can tell you, I have seen Milan in all of the events. Okay.
Good afternoon, Mr. Verdugo, governing board members, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Art Roque. I'm the Rio Rico High School Senior Army Instructor. And today we are blessed and have the opportunity to recognize an outstanding cadet student and as well as a human being. Ms. Cadet Milan Wilkinson, I've known her since October, since my arrival of the program, and I can tell you that her dedication to the program, to the school district, and especially the community is evident because of all her actions. She was nominated and was able to receive the Presidential Volunteer Service Medal. So, Mr. Verdugo, you can please come forward, and two additional governing board members. Ms. Wilkinson, please come forward.
Okay, okay, the clerk is here, so. Okay.
Someone else.
Right there.
Spoken.
Ms. Obi?
She's a veteran.
Yeah, she's the veteran here.
And
Thank you.
this outstanding cadet and student is being recognized for her commitment to the community. Because of her actions, she is receiving 3 medals: the gold medal, the silver medal, and the bronze medal. And I state the Presidential Volunteer Service Award is presented to Milan M. Wilkinson. As I stated before, gold, silver, and bronze. By AmeriCorps in recognition and appreciation for her commitment to strengthen our nation and communities through volunteer service. Awarded this year, 2025. Yes, sir.
Over. Camera.
Mr. Verdugo, we can get her parents to come up here, please.
Her parents,
With-
yes.
And the governing board.
Mr. Verdugo. There's another one.
Where's your parents? You wanna move?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you
I'll
move
stay-
behind
I'm the
her, yeah, 'cause
tallest,
you're
so-
the tallest parents.
Your video, not a picture. Scroll it in. There you go.
There you go.
Look here, smile.
Can we get one really quick? Sorry. Perfect, thank you.
Congratulations.
Does the board has any questions for Milan?
Sorry,
What are your future plans?
I'm going to the U of A for nursing.
Do you graduate this year?
Yes.
What an honor, Nita, what an honor, what an honor for us as a school to have produced somebody like you, really. Congratulations. Come in. Mr. Guerrero?
No, congratulations, it's amazing. Thank you.
Congrats. Thank you for your discipline and your hard work and dedication for representing our community with pride. I have a lot of respect for JROTC and the public schools, especially since my family gave a lot of blood for this country, several wars. Fighting the Germans in World War II. I lost one uncle in combat and one in the Philippines fighting the Japanese, and one he was captured by the Nazis and put in a concentration camp, and believe it or not, he's still alive at 101. Works up at the Davis Mountain Air Force Base as a dossier. So I have the utmost respect for the service, for JROTC and the public schools, and thank you for everything that all our teachers do as well to put this all together for the kids. So I'm very grateful. And again, thank you for your dedication.
Yeah, with all the effort of obviously LTC.
Oh, no, definitely.
Volunteer Mrs. St. Clair and First Sergeant Moore. And also she will be the valedictorian for the graduation.
Wow.
Oh, congratulations.
Something?
I'm gonna save your speech for
Save your
later.
speech for later.
Favorite speaker later. Thank you.
Says so much speaking.
Okay, moving on. The subject, B, Rich River Athletics Club recognitions, Mr. Verdugo.
Thank you. Like to invite the elementary principals up. They'll get shadowed. But they wanted to recognize Rich River Athletics for their contributions to our school district for many, many years. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Chavez.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, Madam President, members of the board. On behalf of all of the elementary principals, I think that, kind of goes without saying the amount of work that goes into the Rich River Athletics Club and putting on events for our kids. I know that from its inception, 20 years ago, it's really truly come a long way, and it's truly been community based and really geared around everybody, beginning with the inception. So the logo was actually designed by Meg's mom. And that's something that I know is very, very important to us, that we continue with keeping our whole community involved in what's happening. And from the beginning, from putting on the Lucky Clover to that whole transition into putting on the fun run for our kids, the Character Counts Track Meet, which is happening on Friday. So I invite all of you guys to come on out on a Friday. At the races will start around 4 o'clock. So if you guys are free, come on out and cheer on our kiddos. They'll be out there working hard and competing. to, you know, the last couple of years, I know that I've partaken in just as a father, being able to have my kids be part of the Ridge River Athletics Club track club. And so that's been the next expansion of this program. So this whole program has been very, very personal to me, personal to us as the elementary principals, to be able to offer these opportunities to our kids. I know that our kids love it. They have a great time. They're always well done, very, very well organized. And that's because of all of these people, along with other people like Dr. Lunderville as well, that goes out to these events and helps out as well. So on behalf of all of the elementary principals, we just wanted to say thank you to all of you guys for all the work that you guys have done. And we are very, very appreciative of everything that you guys do for our kids. I know that there's some kids in high school that took part in the elementary fun runs. There's kids that are out of high school that took part in the elementary fun runs. And we look forward to seeing it continue to grow. So thank you guys for all you guys do. So this is a certificate that celebrates 20 years. And it is presented to Ridge River Athletics Club for providing young athletes the opportunity to compete in a quality meet, fostering good sportsmanship and character. Thank you for all you do from our district. So thank you guys very much.
Didn't make it.
Thank you, sir.
Group photo. I'm short, I'm on the end.
Yeah, really.
Share it.
Yes.
Does anybody have questions? Ms. Fobian?
I have no questions. I really have watched the program over these 20 years and it really is a gift to the district.
Sure is. Thank you. Mr. Guerrero?
No questions, but thank you for everything you got. Appreciate it.
Mr. Ramirez?
Thank you, Steve, for all that you've done over the years. When you first started, a lot of things like Lucky Clover, but I know
I remember.
a lot of you here have really made big efforts to put this together as well. And you've touched a lot of people. I know that for sure. So, and you make a tremendous difference. So thank you on behalf of everybody here.
Yes. Thank you. Me too. Just thank you for everybody. I know that, look at all these people that are here and all of this is voluntary work, right? All of you volunteer for our students, for our kids, for our community. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so very much. And again, I remember when you started all of this and, the Clover and everything. So congratulations. And it's, my son was running and all that stuff.
And just maybe very briefly, there were 3 board members who could not make it today. Tony Shatler is actually coaching the middle school team right now, as well as Alex Hicks, from the high school.
Yeah, Alex Hicks.
And Jessica Kuhn, who now works for the county Parks and Rec. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of their support as well.
Yeah, also.
Our partnership with this district, from our perspective, has not gone unnoticed at all in terms of the facilities and backing and things of that nature. So we definitely appreciate the true community partner.
And one other thing, just before they go, that they also provide scholarships. So that's something that I think goes unnoticed as part of what they do. They do all the fun stuff, but they also give the scholarships for graduating seniors. So I think that's a big thing.
That's a big thing too. Thank you so much for all your work, for all your commitment to us. Thank you.
Thank you. And there's a good agenda. Thanks for having me.
An executive session subject, county treasurer matters, Mr. Verdugo.
The recommended to go in executive session.
All righty, okay, so notice is hereby given to the general public that the governing board of the Santa Cruz Valley Unified School District number 35 may vote to hold an executive session for discussion or consultation for legal advice with its attorney or attorneys and or for discussion or consultation with any attorneys to consider its position and instruct its attorneys regarding county treasurers litigation, excuse me, and related matters. The governing board's attorneys may participate in person, virtually, or by phone. Okay, recommended motion to convey to executive session in conference room 125.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. We will convey to room 125. Thank you. To reconvene, to regular session?
So moved.
Second, okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Okay, we are back again. This one would be now, where am I? Superintendent's report, Mr. Verdugo.
Thank you. Just want to congratulate all the teams. Our esports made the playoffs, made it to the round of 16. So I want to congratulate them for all of their efforts this season. A lot of championships possibly coming up. Our baseball team is hanging right in there. They're at 23. I looked at today. 24 make it. So hopefully they'll get into the playoffs. And we have a lot of our track athletes that are ready and primed to make a lot of noise in the state meet coming up in a few weeks. So wish them luck. And then again, congratulate JROTC for their accomplishment. And also Rich River Athletics, thanking them for their years and years of support for our district. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on. It will be the governing board members report. Ms. Fobian?
Thank you. It's, a fast paced and time of year. I mean, everything is happening and, the military ball was wonderful as always. And, we've been doing some site visits and it is so great to get into the classrooms and get to see the interaction with the teachers and the students and seeing all the good things that are happening. And, the principal reports, again, just excellent. Really got the feel of what all is going on and to have all the good things acknowledged and just the basic day-to-day stuff that's going on all the time too, that we don't really get to experience. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mr. Guerrero?
Nothing to report, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, I must say that I'm very proud of you, Ms. Vasquez, for going to the school to observe. Mr. Beach filled me in on some of the stuff that went on, and I have to say that I'm really happy that I'm not going to have to do this time over. That some of the other board members shared that, but no, seriously, Madam President, I was very happy that you went, and it's nice how you do this too, Mr. Verdugo, because it shows transparency and willing to go into any room. So I kind of like that, and I know from what I heard that there's still a lot to be done in the way of enforcing the rules at the school, and that's like I told Mr. Knipe when he first took over, that's not something that is going to happen overnight. That's something that takes a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication, and you really suffer a lot for it, having to deal with angry parents who, when they take the kids' phones away and things. So I don't envy you the task, Mr. Lopez, but confident you're going to go in there and start off tough. And Mr. Kanoip, I hope you finish. If you're listening, is he here still?
Sorry, Mr.
You hear this, Mr. Kanoip? Please finish really strong and help Mr. Lopez out so that he gets off to a good start himself. And I want to say that today I had a really tough day at school. Made me think of all the teachers and how hard it is at this time of the year because kids get really squirrely, especially after vacations. 4-day weekends, 3-day weekends, 4-day weekends, they come back and some of them are pretty squirrely. So like Mr. Beach always says, try to finish strong, try to hang in there. And that advice is also for all the administration that's here as well. So hang in there, be tough, and before you know it, it'll be the end of May.
Thank you very much, and thank you for that. Yes, it's been it's been a really good experience, that Mr. Verdugo has taken us, to all of the schools and you get to see, because we were nobody knew that we were coming, so it was kind of like a surprise, that we came in and we tried to visit every single classroom. Some of them we couldn't because of the changes and this and that, but for the majority places that we've gone, it's been a really, really good experience. Plus, after that, okay, we have lunch with a lot of the teachers and stuff, and we ask them, the difficult questions, what are the positives, and then if you have any negatives, and everybody's been really good about, sharing, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and all that stuff, and that is like really, really good because they know that we're there for them, you know what I'm saying? For the teachers and stuff. So that's been, that's been really good. Plus, we've had a chance to interact with the students when we go into the classrooms, kids still, they recognize you, they remember you and stuff. And then, and just really, it's been really, really good, to go into the classrooms and stuff. Another thing is, and we're gonna go to Mountain View on Thursday. We went today to Guatimundi, so we've been visiting every single school. And we're gonna try and do it again, okay, before school ends, so, we're still there, so. And we know that right now, like, the kids are, they've been testing and they're just, I know, and it's the last stretch, of course, we know that, but we hope that all of the kids will, will end with a bang at the end, like really hard and stuff. So hopefully, we'll get that. The ball was amazing. I also got to go to the ball with them, and the kids, oh, they look so good when they're in their uniforms, and the girls in their, their really pretty dresses and all that stuff. I mean, it was really, really good. I got to sit next to, and Mr. Theisel isn't here, but I got to sit next to his son, and his son was the guest speaker, okay? And I mean, let me tell you what 8 years does to a student. Wow. Oh my goodness. I mean, I remember him from, from middle school, and now he's 21 years old and he's a soldier, and he's just, I mean, he takes his role so serious. It was so good to see him, and I'm sorry that he's not here right now so that we could tell him, how proud, I felt, just for him to speak and the things he was saying, and, and stuff. So it was really, it was a really, really good experience and stuff. And yes, I also love the principal's reports and the other one is the one with the discipline reports. I always like to see those, to see and how the kids are doing in the classroom. And thank God we're doing a fantastic job. Thank you to all of our principals and the teachers and everybody, and continue the good work that we're having for the end. Thank you.
Madam President.
Yes,
you
sir.
have the floor.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So I also want to thank the superintendent for sharing a report from the state legislature about the cell phones. So that was really something else. And I was happy because I felt that would come, but I didn't think that it would come so fast.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, it's going to take a lot of years before people finally get to that point, but they got there. And what I really like too is that the governing board spent so much time along with the administrators and your administration in this room and study sessions, hammering out all that stuff. And so I feel that all that work that we did, not only with that, but with the dress code, has made us compliant with the state. And so I don't think we really have to revisit very much with that regard. Maybe we might have to bring up a few fine details, but it seems like we're compliant from all the hard work that we put into it. So again, thank you for the report, Mr. Ortega. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Anybody else? No? All right, let's moving on, information discussion, subject, Rio Rico High School Assistant Principal for the 2025 school year, Mr. Verdugo.
Thank you. So we had, since we hired Mr. Lopez to take over the high school, we tasked him with searching for a replacement for assistant principal at Rio Rico High School. And they put together a committee, interviewed some candidates, and the person that they are recommending, Mr. Nagesh Kumar. And so it's bittersweet.
Yes.
Because he is one of our best teachers, national board certified teacher. And so we're excited for his next step of moving into a leadership role. And he's been in a leadership role, running the 21st Century After School and doing other things within that campus. But I'd like to invite Mr. Lopez to come up first, and then we'll invite Mr. Kumar to come.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board. I can say, I'll be brief. I can tell you that it was a process that it was composed of teachers, support staff, administrators, and part of the process for me has been really listening to the voices at the school. I've been there for the last 2 years, and one voice was very loud and very clear in that process, which was from Mr. Kumar and the commitment that he's made to our school, and that came through. And all the members of the committee were very clear about that. One thing that has really stood out for the committee was not just the commitment that he's made to the community, which is outstanding, but it's also the quality of the commitment and the dedication, the commitment to our students. And I think tonight is illustrated by having one of our families who stuck around and they stepped out for pictures and they came back and we reminded them that they were welcome to step out. I know we want to be here to support Mr. Kumar. And actually the parent of one of those students who was honored tonight has already formally requested for Mr. Kumar to have an hour off next year so he can teach calculus. So that doesn't illustrate the level of commitment and appreciation from our families and our students. I don't know what that, so Mr. Kumar, very excited and very lucky to have you as part of an administrative team for school year 25-26.
Yeah, I was gonna, no.
What about first?
No, yeah, I was gonna say, if are there any questions? Do we have any?
You wanna
Do we
vote
vote for?
first?
Yes, let's vote first, I guess, okay. So then it would be, the recommendation action is motion to approve the 2025-2026 certified administrator contract for Mr. Nagesh Kumar as the 25-26 assistant principal at Rio Rico High School in the amount of $86,445.
So moved.
So moved. Second, all those in favor?
No, nine.
Aye.
Yeah, aye. All right. All those opposed? Nay? Okay, ayes have it. Motion passes. Any questions?
I said aye twice. Does that count for Mr. B?
Yeah, I know that, yes. Anybody?
So he's now approved, so we
Okay,
congratulations.
now we can. A little early, but yes, thank you. Mr. Nagesh, would you like to say some few words and then we will bombard you?
I really appreciate you guys giving me this opportunity. I've been in the school district for 15 years now. And I think I tried to do whatever I could do in my capacity. But I prefer to, move on to a new position where I could make some influence outside my classroom too. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you.
I hope you do a good job.
We're gonna, I'm sure you will, and we'll be watching you like a hawk. Now, any questions, Ms. Fobians?
I think you have been one of the teachers honored at the 5% banquet.
Yes.
Every year. So truly, it is great to see you getting to move. It's really hard.
It's really hard.
It's hard for me too.
Mhm.
But truly, congratulations, and I know, and what a privilege to be so well thought of by the committee.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Guerrero?
No questions, but congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Ramirez?
Yes.
Mhm.
So I'm very happy for you. I feel that because of your hard work as a calculus teacher, you sort of pigeonholed yourself and made it difficult to take that jump because I'm going to echo the sentiments of the superintendent. It's bittersweet.
It is very.
On the one hand, we're so happy because we know what a hard worker you are, how organized you are, how dedicated, and you have a good rapport with people too, as is evident by those wonderful shirts that it's made of your face, all over the community, Probably even further, for all you know, you could be famous all over the state.
Thank you.
But no, seriously, you really have done such great work as a teacher, and now I'm excited to see what you're going to do at the high school. And I think it's great. I'm sure Mr. Lopez is excited too. Excellent choice. And another thing I think you got going for you is you have the respect of your colleagues, as the superintendent has mentioned, which is a real strength. And so no matter, whether you have to go in there and be critical of the situation, they respect you. And that's a big plus, when you're going, you have to go do observations and that kind of stuff. But I'm so confident you'll do a great job because you're such a hard worker too.
Thank you, really.
Hard work, you bring that great work ethic from India, I always talk to all your friends about it, Santosh and everybody about that work ethic. And because they would always tell me how hard the kids work, when they study math. And so, anyway, thank you so much for stepping up to the plate. And again, we'll miss you. And the math department, we hope somebody fills your big shoes,
Should be.
but I'm excited for you.
We'll find somebody for that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Again, everything that everybody said, double for me. I mean, I know that it's bittersweet because we know that commitment that you have and that the expertise that you brought into your classroom with your students and with everybody. And that is gonna be hard to fill, let me tell you, okay? We're gonna look for somebody, okay? But it's gonna be very hard again. And I just wish you so much luck with everything, it's just, anything you need, we're always here to help you and we're always here to, Mr. Lopez will guide you and everybody else, and help you out so that you can continue, with your, I mean, you already have everything. You've got your work ethic, you've got your, all of that stuff. You've got that. It's just filling in the little holes that you're gonna have, because it's very different from a classroom to, to the whole school. It's gonna be very different, but I wish you all of the luck, and again, bittersweet, but congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you for everything that you do.
Before you go, do you want to introduce your family?
So
The people that you're gonna not see as often?
Oh, yeah, really.
That's my wife, Uma Gupta. She works at Kodimundi as a sixth grade math and science teacher.
Mhm.
And that's my daughter, Paula Gupta, who is a senior this year, going to UOA studying.
You won't get to work with your dad.
Yeah, she got to work with me for 3 years. I've been our teacher for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So she's happy to go away from me.
Yeah. It's a different capacity, tell him. No. No.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. On subject, FERPA assurances, Mr. Verdugo.
Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Dr. Lunderville.
Okay.
That's this requirement.
Good evening, Mr. President or Madam President, members of the board. Tonight there are two, forms that were sent to us by the Arizona Department of Education, and the first is a FERPA PPRA assurance. I wanna just explain that there are some districts who have some strong concerns about both of the acknowledgements that are on the agenda tonight. Our district, after consulting with our legal counsel, I do not feel that we have any issues in terms of FERPA. There are 4 requirements contained within FERPA, and a lot of the crux of this comes from the issues across the country where teachers and school officials are not required to notify parents when their children are choosing to identify as a different gender. Or identify as transgender or non-binary. We have not had that issue here, nor would we refuse to explain to parents that their child is making that request. But just so that the board is aware, we would be authorizing someone, it's either the superintendent or myself, authorization to complete these forms, not in our individual capacity. We're doing so on behalf of the LEA, which is the local education agency, which is our school district. That way, if there are any lawsuits or filings later on, neither one of us would be individually liable. But the 4 things that we have to ensure is that all information and records directly related to a student are maintained by an educational agency that, and that parents have the right to review those. So if a parent wants to review their student's educational records, we give them information every year on how they can do that. We also give them the opportunity to do what's called opting out of certain information, which is directory information and things like that. And every parent is required to acknowledge that we provided them with that information. The way that we do that is through our student information system. All parents receive an email, and it will not allow them to move forward in parent view until they acknowledge that we gave it to them. We also provide them with information on how they can opt out of certain directory information being released, along with information on how we can provide military recruiters with access or opt out individuals who do not want that information released. So those are the areas that we're attesting that we follow. I don't have any concerns about completing that form. I feel like all of our records are and our procedures are in place to do that. So the board would be authorizing myself or Mr. Verdugo to sign and to fill out the form that we provided you with a copy of the form. It asks us questions like, when did we notify the parents? I have all of that. I have the date ranges. If they wanted to audit us, they could. If we chose not to respond, our attorneys are not recommending that we do that. They're suggesting that we go ahead and complete this form because it could bring to light the Department of Education deciding to really dig into, and I welcome audits where we're fine with that, but it could cause them to create some undue pressure that frankly, I don't think we need. But if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them related to the FERPA attestation.
Any questions, Ms. Paul?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Okay, Mr.
Yeah, the only question I have is, are you at liberty to discuss what some of the concerns were from some of the people that you talked to, or you said other people had concerns about the form?
Other school districts had concerns, mainly, and they're regarding the next form that we're talking about. Districts had concerns about the fact that an individual was signing, which is why our attorneys sent out a recommendation that we go ahead and go to normally for forms like this, Ms. Brown, myself, Ms. Padilla, we just complete them and attest to them, because if we do not, they'll hold our federal grants. But in this case, there was such a level of concern about individuals because they're talking about, and I'll talk a little bit about the Harvard lawsuit on the next form. But there were so many that our attorneys issued guidance for all school districts, particularly school districts that have DEI programs. That's a concern, and we do not currently have any board approved curriculum or DEI programs. So yeah, those were the main concerns with the.
And that was the biggest concern, is just withholding of federal funds and also putting liability on individuals, which we have no concern, to be honest, because we don't have any of those programs that our other districts are not complying with federal mandates. And so we had those issues.
Thank you.
Mr. Ramirez?
I have no questions, no concerns.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have no questions either. She's answered it. Okay.
So it's an action item, so.
Okay, this one right here, I go to the recommendation.
Yes.
Okay, I move to authorize the Assistant Superintendent to complete and submit the Arizona Department of Education's Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, which is FERPA, Protection of Pupil Rights Amendment, PRA, assurance for the fiscal year 25 and the fiscal year 26 form to affirm that the Santa Cruz Valley Unified School District number 35 understands the requirements of FERPA and PPRA.
Second.
You seconded? And that's it?
And
Okay.
I know you got to vote.
Okay, we vote. All those we have to vote.
Yeah, all those in favor?
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Okay.
Thank you.
Alrighty, next subject is the Title 6, certification, Mr. Verdugo.
Thank you. I'll turn it over to Dr. Underwood as well.
This is similar to what I described before. However, as many of you are aware, the federal government has issued a lawsuit against Harvard and its applicability to K-12 illegal DEI. DEI are diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Our district does not have any diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. However, nowhere in the document that you see in front of you does the department define what illegal DEI is or define DEI in general. So can we 100% confirm that we do not have a board approved curriculum or DEI program? Can we 100% affirm that there's never any discussion about that in the classroom? Not 100%, but it's not something that is in our current lesson plans or in our standards and like our standards bank. So also initially anyone could, from the district, was allowed to sign this, and they wanted us to upload it, I think by August tenth, or April tenth, I apologize. And then they changed their mind. They gave us additional time to the 24th, but then they issued something saying that the superintendent had to sign. So what the board is approving tonight is authorizing the superintendent in his capacity as a superintendent, not as an individual, to complete and attest to that form. Failing to complete this form will result in what we're considering the Department of Education will immediately suspend funding past that date of April 30th. Mr. Verdugo and I reviewed all of the attorney's recommendations, and we don't feel like we have any concerns with uploading and completing the forms. That's not the case for other school districts, and that's not the case across the country, but we're confident that by allowing us to do that, we won't create any waves with federal funding.
And again, we do understand the DEI, but we also have not practiced that in a sense of our district of that we are merit-based. You know, I think that we've constantly looked to hire the best people, no matter what the ethnicity, gender, or sexual orientation.
Any questions, Ms. Fulton?
questions.
Mr. Guerrero?
No questions.
Mr. Ramirez?
None.
I have none either. Okay, so then we are recommending action is I move to authorize the superintendent to sign the reminder of legal obligations undertaken in exchange for receiving federal financial assistance and request for certification under Title VI and SFFA versus Harvard on behalf of the Santa Cruz Valley Unified School District number 35 as required by the Arizona Department of Education and acknowledge receipt and review of the document.
Second.
Second, all those in favor, say aye. All those opposed? Nay, ayes have it, motion passes. All righty. Next subject, the 2025-2026 salary increase recommendation, Mr. Verdugo.
Thank you. This is one of the positives, not that tonight has not been all
No, it's
positive,
all positive.
but this is anytime that we are able to make sure that we are supporting our staff across the board. I'm happy to do so. So tonight, the recommendation is to approve a 5% salary increase for all eligible administrators, teachers, professionals, and classified exempt staff for the 2025-26 fiscal year as presented.
Okay, questions, Ms. Fobia?
No questions.
Mr. Guerrero?
Yeah, I had a couple questions. I guess the first question is this a yearly thing? You look at this
Yes.
every year? Okay.
Yeah, every year. And so we had the budget presentation, the previous, and it looks, Ms. Brown does a great job of looking at all of what, and again, the whole process begins probably in November and then culminates with the salary increase and then budget presentation. And so that we know how much funds. There is, as Ms. Brown presented, unknowns, but we're confident with our reserves that even if there were issues that unfunded mandates that the legislature may throw at us, that we are confident that this will be able to move forward with this 5% raise.
Okay.
I guess another question would be, is this based on a salary wage study, or where does the 5% come? Is just whatever's available and go from there, or?
Yeah, and so we do look at annually, well, I would say annually, we'd look at frequently how we are doing against the market in many areas. For instance, last year, I think, or was it last year or the year before, that we gave almost a 30% raise to many of our classified staff because it was not meeting the market. And so, and I think last year was administrators. I think last year was the year that we moved all the administrative salaries. We started with classified, then moved to teachers, and then actually finished last year with administrators. So I guess it was a 3-year process that we try to address each of our groups. And so annually we look at what the salary increase, but whatever funds are available and what we can fiscally make sure that we will meet. So if the legislature did something and said, okay, this is going to reduce your budget, we are confident that we have those funds and it's not going to affect any jobs. So, which is a good question.
Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Guerrero? No? Okay, thank you. Mr. Ramirez?
Yeah, in the past, we used to have these separate though, didn't we? When we voted on them, we had.
Not, for the contracts were set, but we approved those contracts last board meeting. And then this year, this is for the salary increase.
Yeah, because I mean, 5% is, I mean, it's not the same proportionally for everybody across the board, so. I can imagine some people would be a little concerned about that, but. We have the money, so.
Yes.
I'm all for a raise for everybody.
Yeah.
That's great that we can do it, so, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I'm all for it too. Okay, always, always. Okay, anyway, recommended actions. Motion to approve the 5% salary increase for all eligible certified administrators, teachers, professionals, and classified exempt staff for the 25-26 fiscal year as presented.
Second.
1, 2.
Yeah,
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed, nay. Okay, ayes have it, motion passes. Thank you, moving on. Subject Santa Cruz Valley Unified School District policies, Mr. Verdugo.
Nothing that, we are bringing forward, but if there is any request from the board to review.
Okay, anything, nothing? How about you, anything to review? Mr. Ramirez?
No, I have not, thank you.
I have nothing either, so there's no recommendation. Yes?
Yeah, no, that's it.
That's it. Okay, next subject. F, purpose and prioritize topics and possible dates and times for future board meetings. Mr. Verdugo.
Yeah, so, just a reminder that we only have one meeting in May due to all the events. I've mentioned to our staff that if there is a need for hiring or any other, that we may have a telephonic meeting, but I would notify the board well in advance of that. So we only have one meeting in May, and then our first meeting, in June is June 10th.
Okay. Any questions? Anybody?
Or any other additional topic.
Any additional topics that anybody wants to do? Ms. Fobian?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Mr. Guerrero?
Thank you.
Mr. Ramirez? No, and I have none either, so we will be moving on. Next, subject is the consent agenda, approval of the consent agenda. And. Okay, any matter on the consent agenda will be removed from the consent agenda and discussed as regular agenda item or items upon the request of any board member. Are anybody want to remove anything, Ms. Fobian? No? Mr. Guerrero? Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, number 3.
Hold on, number 3, hold on. Alrighty, number 3, I have nothing. Okay, so then, motion to approve and accept and ratify the consent agenda with, eliminating number 3, as presented. So moved. Second, okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Mr. Ramirez, number 3.
Yeah, I had a question for the superintendent about the ACR for retired teachers. What is it that?
So the ACR, so that's the retirement, that we have to pay for, employees. So, ACR, so when you're a retired or part of your teacher retirement, so it is required to pay, into the system. And then,
Yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm curious, is it a flat rate for all the districts and?
it's the same rate.
Difference
Yeah,
from
it's a-
district to district?
No, it's the same rate for all districts.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, but one of the things that the board has approved, and Ms. Brown and I were talking about this recently, is that our district, when we hire a retiree, we absorb that cost. And some districts move that cost into the to the retiree. We actually pay that as part of the benefits.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's a hell of a selling point for District 35.
And again, it is, again, the support of the board, because we know that recruiting and retaining teachers is an important piece of any school district. And we really have a lot of board support for supporting teachers and high quality retirees that come back. Like tonight, there was 2 teachers that were on there that have retired, are coming back, and they're being placed at their current placement. So, and again, we absorb the ACR cost.
I'd like to see us get that out there, publicly. Is it, what can we do to get that out there more than what we've done thus far, Mr. Lugo, because I think that's quite a selling point for a lot of teachers. Never know, we get some pretty good ones, that if they knew about it, because I don't think everybody knows about that.
And then again, we're one of the districts that pays that ACR, because again, most people transfer it to and also only give, and I know some neighboring districts, like 80%, or they start at 10-year maximum. And if we believe you're a high quality individual, we'll give you all of your years of experience from our.
That was the case when I was here before I was on the governing board.
Yes.
Yeah, I noticed that, of course, right away. Yes. But I think that a lot of people don't know about that, so.
It may be.
Would it be even worth our while to get an ad out in the paper at a real good time when people are thinking about that?
Yeah, but some of it is on our news, on our website, right? On the district website. I know that it's there. 'Cause
I
I've
think if we
seen it.
put it in the Nogales International, that might really, a lot of people would read that, you know?
Yeah, we can work with Audra to put something together and say, if you're thinking about retiring, come and work for SCB 35.
Well, but that message really needs to be pounded away at, you know, so, because I think if you put that out there, the district absorbs it and it doesn't come out of your paycheck. That's big for a lot of people.
Because that's almost a double, or it's a big increase, because when you're a regular teacher, you pay your retirement and the district pays our portion. And then when you retire, you no longer pay your portion, the district just absorbs that.
Big chunk of change. That's a lot of money we're
That
talking
is.
about for paycheck.
Yeah, and especially that if the retired teacher stays with us for a long period of time, 5 years, whatever, 8 years, 10 years, it's a big one.
Yeah, so and again, we thank the board for the support, because that's something that will allow us to recruit those high quality teachers that are retiring but still want to continue to work.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Alrighty, okay, so then now we have the recommended action. Motion to approve and accept and ratify the consent agenda number 3 as presented.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. It is approved. And we are adjourned. I adjourn this meeting at, what time is it? At 6:52.